It's not that I'm for either side because there's no side. It's foolishness, complete foolishness.
It was another way to go about it than trying to attack him like that.
And I got a theory, fam. Would you like to hear my theory, fam? Blessings, blessings, blessings. How you feeling today, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good to be awake, alive, above the ground. So blessed and good. How about
Yeah,
you and yours on your end?
man, blessed with progress all the time. It doesn't matter what is really ever going on or going wrong, if you want to say, in my life at all times. I'm going to say that I am blessed with progress because that's the mission, is to progress. And if there's even but a little bit of progress in the day, I acknowledge that. You know what I'm saying? So
No,
blessed with progress. So I know we are still working out the kinks, if you will, to everything as it goes and pertains to what we have, you know, before us right now with this new endeavor. But getting right into it though, it's been a very interesting and exciting week in entertainment and podcasting. Um as we know, this man, what you think of this Corey Holcomb and Anton Daniels fiasco?
shoot. All right, now these two brothers. The first clip I seen, man, I it's not good right now. But the first clip I seen, I figured they could have worked something out. He could have been dead when he left the studio. But it's something now that's I don't know, man. It's not good right now.
Yeah.
All right, now it's right now my mind just going on this right now because I'm really just shocked. Like just shocked. It's an ugly situation now. It was ugly
Yeah.
then, but it's just getting out of hand.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I agree wholeheartedly with what you just stated. It has gotten so far out of hand that we just peeped that I guess the wife and child have been brought into this as of now, and it's like, what are we doing now?
Yeah, that's the
What is
second one
this?
I just seen. That's the second one I just seen, and I'm like, oh man, he didn't have to do it like that. Bring the kids and a wife or a girlfriend or whoever into it that had nothing to do with what they had going on. So yeah,
Right.
that's there.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. And that's the gist of it that I'm getting. That it's like, okay, this was a conflict between two men that already didn't really make much sense. But hey, y'all wanted to go there, whether it was for views or trying to gain or garner your respect in aggressive and assertive ways. We done all been there. We done all been in a scuffle with a brother at some point. Sometimes it's your literal brother, your actual biological brother. Sometimes it's just an extended brother because we all part of the same tribe. But regardless, we've been there before. But to do it in such a public way, such an egregious public display of this is not good for it's not good for either of them, in my opinion.
That
Although
is
you know the
not
saying,
one.
yeah,
I think now, honestly, now it look like Corey was more heartbroken. He was more in his feelings after everything was said to him. I understand it
yeah,
was a disrespect, but now he feel like he had to come back with a power, another powerful blow to top
mhm.
what dude had said to him, and it's foul. His
Yeah,
get back is
because
foul.
I really don't get why bringing the child would have come. Like, I get that he went low as to say you give fellatio to the black people, which for what it's
But see,
worth, I mean, he really I don't not to even touch on that, but
okay,
you kind of
even
have
hold on,
to.
just for a second, then, just for a second. Even if he did say that, that's not a true statement, is it? You
Right.
see what I'm
No.
saying? So to bring his kids in, to now to go and skip forward, to bring a child
Yeah.
into it, that's a different,
Yeah.
you know.
And his wife.
So and the
Yeah.
wife. So
Yeah.
you
And
know,
like putting their images up on screen, who I don't think Anton puts his child, excuse me, and his wife, his family is what I mean to say. I don't think he puts them on screen like that. He
not
does.
like
I
that.
don't.
No,
The videos I've ever watched of him, which again, the first time I got put on to Anton Daniels was through Charleston White. From then, I've not seen him do many public displays of his family. I think he has chosen to keep them private for a reason, as
for
do
real.
I. I don't do that. So for him to go out of his way, first of all, I don't even know where you found the images of his daughter at, you know,
Like
to
you
even
said, he went
go
out of
be
his
that
way,
meticulous. He
paid
went out of his
somebody.
way, right? And then to find an image of his wife and to make sure that you got that and put that out. Okay, you did it. So now what's the play? What was your point of that? You said you don't he called himself, he said he he's a dirt bag. He basically implying that he knows he's a dirt bag. Okay, be that. But be that to the man that offended you. Where are you going with this thing of going so low as to use children? And I guess
Right.
because Corey speaks so openly about not really caring about the relationship between, and that's what it gives for those who have heard it and hear it in this manner, as I have. He's not really geared toward nurturing a relationship with his children. He doesn't speak as if he does. Whether he does in his private life, that's okay. But the way he speaks to the public is as if he doesn't care about that type of stuff.
Yeah.
But for people who do, for people who do care about that and secure their families in that manner, you are definitely swinging so low. Yeah, you trying to drag him to hell, as they say these days. But again, what's your point? Now
I guess.
you got Anton speaking like he ready to go to the law, or it is some he's speaking in a very litigation style fashion. I'm gonna say it like that.
Yeah, he probably did get some kind of advice. You know, some
Mhm,
he got some advice somewhere to not go. Don't even jab back. Don't go into that like that with him.
mhm,
And so Corey keep doing it though. He might dig a deeper hole than he don't want. You know.
mhm. Yeah, yeah.
So he need to watch how he trail too. It's not a good. It's not good, man. And I'm
Oh, go ahead.
speechless.
Yeah, yeah. It's like I'm glad that the clip that I saw didn't show the child or his wife. They were shout out to Urban Politicians TV. I rock with that channel. Um yeah, I'm glad that they didn't show that
Yeah,
because I don't need to know what his child looked like, and I don't need to know what his wife looked like. You know what I mean? So
I don't either. I don't even be my
I don't
concern
know what
about.
was
You know,
yeah.
like, yeah.
Yeah,
if you seen that in the end, and he's like, "You won. That's it. You won. Y'all won."
yeah,
You know, I
yeah.
think that's what he wanted. You know, to get that
To
kind
say I
of
won, and he
yeah.
made sure to say you and Craig won.
So
You, him and Craig Facts, which I typically like Craig Facts because he's a intellectual brother. He's articulate and everything, and he can be funny. But this, y'all
no,
swinging, y'all definitely swinging, but y'all swinging for the fences and missing to me because I missed the point of what the whole interaction was supposed to be. Like, what was the initial point of what you all were trying to do?
well,
What
yeah,
were you even
that was
talking about?
my first. That was my first question. I ain't mean to cut you off. That was my
No,
first
you
question.
good.
What was they there? You know, what was they getting together for? Anyway, but it went
Right.
left. Whatever it was, it went left quick.
Yeah. And it's it went so left that I don't think they know the point because you and I have spoken before, and I was telling you that I hope they could come back to the table and piece it up and do it in a public fashion, just as public as this viral moment went. Come back to the table in a public fashion, showing that y'all pieced it up, discussed your own wrongdoings, no finger pointing, uh, and let people see that two so-called black men can do that, not do what's already expected of them. You see what I'm saying? So I thought that would have been able to happen, but now again,
Yeah,
I don't understand their point, or I don't understand the point of what Corey was doing with this. Him especially because one, it was your platform. Two, you kept pushing the thing. I get he said the one thing, but you kept aggressing him. It's not that I'm for either side because there's no side. It's foolishness, complete foolishness. But he's the one who was the aggressor and kept pressing him. And dude just said, okay, let's go out back. And he stood up and was like, come on. So
and you
I just,
see, and now he caught that comment. He was like, "If I'm getting under your skin, you know where I'm at." You know, that's some crazy. That
yeah, like he
you know,
said,
he's
let's
too
go
old
out
for that.
back. And then
So
that part, you know,
we, we,
man.
I don't know, fam. Oh no.
Yeah, but hopefully, all in all, hopefully they can just come back to the
Hopefully,
table.
you know what? They need a mediator. Hopefully, someone can get these
Yeah,
brothers to sit down and get it right.
that part. That part right there. That part right there. And somebody will be able to do it. Because
And
however they
somebody,
was able to link and set this all up is exactly how they would do it to piece it up.
they
Which
can
they can
be
do that
done.
behind the scenes.
Yeah, it can be done. Yeah,
Yeah.
y'all
But
brothers make that happen. Y'all brothers
yeah,
make that happen.
definitely. Definitely. I'm with that. I second that. So moving right along, man. I know this was a little while ago, right? I know this was a little while ago, but we had caught wind of this was a few months back, but we had caught wind of the disparaging things that what's the guy's name? Uh Aries Spears was saying about Ice Cube.
Oh, Ice Cube and yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. What he was saying, something like, he's not in his top. Wait, Ice Cube don't do nothing for him. Ice Cube don't do nothing
Yeah.
for him. Make fun of
Yeah.
one of his classic hits. Just talking crazy, trying to make jokes. Had this little moment, I guess, but it wasn't. Oh no.
Um
Oh man. With that, I'm gonna honestly say I feel my brother there, Aries, is honestly coming from a broken disappointment. I think he
I
went
agree.
in for. I think he went in for an audition or something, or wanted an audition, or wanted to reach out to Cube, and he felt overlooked, or felt disrespected, and it probably wasn't on purpose.
Right. Um, like I said, I remember Aries Spears from not only Mad TV, but I remember Aries Spears from Def Comedy Jam when he performed and he was 16 years old.
Yeah,
But during that time, I mean, I'm a bit younger than Aries Spears, so I thought, him being a 16-year-old, and at that time I used to love Def Comedy Jam and the whole nine. And seeing a 16-year-old get up there and he was able to do all the impressions and whatnot, I thought that was so cool. Um, but fast forward, even on Mad TV, he was funny. He was definitely a funny guy, but he did questionable things on there, and the clips have resurfaced, but he did questionable things on there. And I think somewhere down the road to fame and fortune, if you will, I think Aries Spears went astray one too many times because he's had many of incidents. And the thing is, in spite of how funny he may be or have been, his the incidents involving him have outlasted his puns or his jokes, his any time on stage, or I don't know if he's ever been on film, like if he's ever been in a well, I know he's been on film. He's had the TV show Mad TV, but he um he also did the weird videos like him and Tiffany Haddish with those children that had came out a couple of years or whatever ago. But I don't recall him in a movie or anything like that, you know. And I don't recall any like stand-up special of his. I just remember that one Def Comedy Jam when he was 16. I don't remember anything after that. So for him to get on Vlad out of all people and disparage Cube like that, knowing Cube is one of the most prolific writers in hip hop because of again, he don't have to do all the lyrical gymnastics and all of that. His pen for storytelling, he is elite.
yeah.
Scarface, you know what I'm saying? I would have loved to hear an album from Cube and Scarface. That'd be so hard. But anyway,
That would have been fun.
um, yeah, that'd be super hard. Uh, but those kind of guys, their pen is elite when it comes to storytelling and narration and commentary. Oh man, second to none for real. You know, but I think Aries, even in his description of or his impersonation of Cube and you know his acting skills and all of that, and talking about, well, yeah, I get the feeling that you got behind F the police and stuff like that, but and it made you feel like when I heard it, I felt like okay, so you saying that you felt the impact from it. He made
You
an
felt
impact
something.
upon you,
Hmm.
and then you able to go down his catalog. His catalog is extensive on both music and movies.
And you know
And
him.
you know him heavy like that in both sides of the game. You
Yeah.
just salty that as long as you've been out in LA And Q been doing stuff right there in LA himself. Well, his production company. He ain't call you, or if they did, it didn't fall through.
Mm-hmm.
And
So yeah,
I
and
believe he could be acting out as a result of that.
I believe so too. And if so, it was another way to go about it than trying to attack him like that, attack his character and everything like this, because it still don't look good. Don't look good on your behalf.
Mm-mm.
Don't look
And
good
then
for him.
now he doing the same thing to 50 Cent. Like, okay, so you don't want no shots. You don't want no opportunities. And two guys that are not Tyler Perry and have the ability to give people opportunities and do,
And yeah,
making people
and
become household names in
yeah.
memorable moments that people recite all the time and refer to. Several people, come on now.
Ooh.
And
Yeah,
you're trying to make sure that you burn every bridge. And these
yeah.
are two of your own people that would
You
be able to
know,
give someone like you a shot.
yeah.
What? It don't make no sense. You a hater. You a hater. I heard somebody say, I think that was Faison Love said, oh man, he just so heavy New York. No, he ain't. No, he's not. He is, and I'm not saying he's a hater because he has his objective opinion. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying he's a hater because you could tell what he's speaking on is out of spite.
That's what it sounds like. Yes.
You know, and then his reasoning don't be making no sense.
Don't
Oh,
make no sense at all.
Cube does nothing for me. But then when one of
His
the most
cadence the
powerful
same.
songs that he wrote when he was a youngster, mind you, how old Ice Cube was when that song came out. You know what I'm saying? Like, young dude came out with F the Police and made an impact on the world.
And
And you
impact, yes.
saying you don't, he did nothing for you. He does nothing for you.
We
But
all
yet
know
turn
better.
around and say, oh, I felt the message that was behind that. If you felt
We
something
know
from it,
better than that.
that's an impact.
We know better.
Yeah. 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 So I mean, I don't know what he's trying to do.
I don't need it, bro. Don't need
But I like the way Cube handled it.
it.
When questioned about it, I like the way he handled it. He said they asked him about it, and he pointed out that he don't believe Aries Spears is in anybody's top 10 of comedians.
Oh
He said he
yeah.
don't think he funny. He don't
I
think,
caught that.
yeah. So I like the way he handled that. Tasteful, respectful, professional. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Oh, well, and like he said, he got his opinion and Cube had his opinion. And hey,
Right. Right.
hey,
Right. So where we at with it? Oh yeah. Um, so moving into some more serious topics, right?
oh man. Yeah.
Um, so we know this ICE thing has gotten way out of hand.
Out of hand. Out of control. It ain't
Mm-hmm.
yeah, oh man. Let me tell you one thing. Uh, I'm I'm praying daily, and I do be out. I be telling a lot of people and everybody just be safe and be vigilant. They on their way about be vigilant.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Um,
man. I recently heard they in Hancock, Mississippi down here.
what happened down there?
Out here in Mississippi. I heard they down here. Um, hit a few people up there behind some store down there. Um, I ain't getting all the details, you know, but I ain't get the video or nothing. So I hit this is my hearsay. So this is what I heard. I didn't see the video, but
Okay.
I seen a picture of them that was at a truck arresting somebody, but they did show me that part. But yeah, same thing they doing everywhere else. You know, I guess it was their first. You know, I guess I don't know when they arose here, so it ain't been no that I know of. It ain't been no actions of shootings and nothing like that. Pray it
Okay.
don't. But what bothers me about this situation, I'm probably jumping too far myself, is
You good?
that our government, governors, and nobody's saying nothing, and they signing off for these people to come in and do this.
Yeah. 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 You know, for people that don't know, I got a pretty much a reaction channel called Noir A.D Reacts on YouTube and on Rumble. And that's spelled just as the name is displayed right there, and then Reacts REAXX. And you can find me on there. I actually just released a video. It's in regard to what we should do, what we should be doing as American citizens to combat and hold these public servants, and that's from police officers to states prosecutors to uh, judges to legislative offices, all the way up to POTUS, the president of the United States. Um, I just released a video, and it's to help get the message out there, because there's a petition that I represent, as a sort of an ambassador, if you will, for the legal advocates of law, um, which is basically a nonprofit sort of activist, low key activist group that just uses constitutional um basis for everything. Just so I look at things these days, because that's where I'm at with it very differently. So these things, right, as you just pointed out, are governmental bodies, right? Legislation, um, anybody that we've elected, pretty much, right, has authorized these things to take place, right? Because how else does it happen? They have to have authorization to do this. So then let's follow the paper trail, right? Who gives that authorization? See, what we don't know in this country is that just because there are different states and they're united, that doesn't make them one. You know how in Europe, when you think of different countries and whatnot, you still think of them as different countries? Guess what? That's what each state in the United States of America is. They are their own country. That's why they have their own constitution, but federally and overall, the supreme law of the land is the Constitution, which is above federal regulation and above state constitution. But they are, make no mistake about it, they are in reference to, they're just as equal to another country in itself. But see, we ain't taught like that. Now, why am I saying all this? I'm saying this because we're talking about authority, right? So if one state authorizes their National Guard, think about it, each state has a National Guard and a reserve in most cases, or a reserve. Some of them have both, but they have a National Guard, right? And like Mississippi, for example, they have their own National Guard. That should let you know also. And each National Guard is separate. Yeah, they have federal backing, but they're separate. That's why Illinois governor, I think it was Illinois governor, was telling the Texas governor, whoa, you need to call back your troops. Because we don't, basically telling him, man, it could get hairy. That was either Illinois or I want to say it was Illinois. Because Trump was trying to have them, the ones from Texas, go into Illinois and do it. But what I'm getting at is the ones we elect are the ones who give this authority. And if they don't do their job, or they're doing something to impede upon our civil rights, which rights don't come from the Constitution. Rights, you can't get rights from a man. Rights come from the Most High Yah. Period. So people say, man, this and that is the law. You can't play your music too loud, or you can't do this or that, some type of thing that's not a law. It's an ordinance. It's a statute. A statute and an ordinance is not a law. First things first, people got to understand who you get your rights from. It's not that judge. It's not a police officer. It's not any of that. You hold the rights. The one who gave them to you is the Most High. So you're supposed to demand them. What the Constitution does is uphold your God-given rights. It upholds it. It keeps a separation between your God-given rights and government from impeding upon those God-given rights. So what must we do? First of all, y'all click that link. Y'all click that link. And if you don't see, if somebody shared this video and they don't have the link, of course, in their description, you can email legal advocates of law at gmail.com and make a request for the petition. And it's really called the Civic Action Kit. Just make a request for the Civic Action Kit. The Civic Action Kit. And by doing so, you'll be able to acquire the petition itself. That's online. And that's a physical petition that you can use. A physical petition that you can use in your region, locally, or if you have to go above local and it's at a state level, or whether it's on a federal level. These are good for that. And that's how you get these people in check, because what you want to do is use the Freedom of Information Act and request oaths of office. They don't want you to know this. They damn sure don't want you to do it. They don't even want you to know it. But then you got to question, why wouldn't you want us to know this? Because it's what binds them. It's not something that's symbolic to do. It's what binds them. Mind you, I was in the military and I served during a time of war. I served during Operation Iraqi Freedom, Operation Iraqi Freedom, and Operation Enduring Freedom. And we swore an oath to uphold the Constitution, to defend it, to defend the country and uphold the Constitution. And the same thing goes with these police officers, these attorneys, now, mind you, there's a difference between a lawyer and an attorney, and that's that bar, that fake attorney's license. Ask an attorney where to get an attorney license and see if they can tell you. Tell them to show you. See if they can show you. I'm not making this up. Ask them. If you got one in your family, ask them. If your friends, a neighbor or whatever, and they're a judge or a state prosecutor, ask them. If you know a lawyer, ask them what's the difference between, better yet, you can hit Google and ask Google, what is the difference between a lawyer and an attorney? You see what I'm saying? A lawyer would be more for you than an attorney would, but their hands are tied also at the same time. So they're limited in their abilities, but they can still help you, better yet. But we want to know how to stop this, how to stop some dude from who's some felon, not just a felon, but you an active criminal and you join ICE and you shooting people and hurting people. Why are they picking these people? And I got a theory, fam. Would you like to hear my theory, fam?
Go ahead.
Yo, say this right now. I you know what I'm saying? Disclaimer. These are my thoughts, not Shalo's, okay? They're not Shalo's thoughts.
Yeah, no,
these are mine. So I believe, and it's very simple, I believe these people were recruited because they are active criminals, and I believe some of them are prisoners who are able to get released for like work release programs, to be tied under something like that, so it becomes, on paper it just looked like work release program, but in reality they're doing that, which is why they stay masked up, because if you find out who they are, they're going to be like, somebody's going to be like, wait a minute, this guy is supposed to be serving time right now. He's a vicious murderer. What is he doing as an ICE agent? You see what I'm saying? Just like they're finding out about the neo-Nazis and the Klan members and all of that who are perpetrating as law enforcement agents and actually should be in custody themselves.
No, that ain't. No. I was already on somewhere of them lines myself, fam.
Yeah. I believe they are actual vicious and violent people who were actually supposed to be incarcerated, and somebody came and recruited them in the pen. I ain't talking about they were released. I'm talking about they're supposed to be locked up right now. or were just released for some violent offenses, which is why they have these masks on. And they are giving them access to little children. We're talking about people who are extreme violent pedos and everything, giving them full access to children locked up in cages. See, I'm not one who says let's not care about the immigrants. I don't believe in that. No, I care about mankind. I just don't like that mankind hates the tribe of Yasharal. You know, the chosen ones and the real ones, not the fake ones who people get scared to mention them and so on and so forth. Not them. Anyway, yeah, I believe that they are actual criminals that are supposed to be locked up right now, that they are violent offenders who were released based upon their ability to commit acts of violence with impunity without even thinking about it, given the green light and the license to kill and destroy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because I mean, the way that dude hopped out that truck and popped that woman, I think 3 or 4 times in the face, groupings in the face, right? Close range. While his cam is picking up that she's saying, "Hey, I'm not mad at you guys. Dude, hey, I get it." And easing out the way, you could tell she wasn't distressing like she was. "Rah." Wasn't no rah-rah. He just let loose several shots
Because he knew he could. Because he could.
and then had just hopped out the vehicle and stood there in front of her and then acted like she was going to hit him and then popped her and then hopped back in the vehicle and dipped. Didn't even stay on the scene. Right? Is that typical law enforcement protocol? Because usually they have to seize their weapon and all of that. How was he able to leave and then no investigation afterwards? Who's investigating? Who
Ain't
authorized
nobody
it?
investigating because they going around doing this and and it's cool. So
Who
who is?
authorized the investigation? Who's the one that said, who's the one on the
Well,
review board that said, yeah, this looks right? Who? Indeed. So, and there were several Department of Justice attorneys that just resigned as a result. They say it's a result of this outcome of them not wanting to investigate this, a good thing. And then you got to look at it. Key Porter Jr. They flipped that, made it sound like he was a domestic terrorist. I put a video out about that, and I asked one question: if he was a domestic terrorist, right? He was an active shooter, is how they started trying to flip it because he was popping his gun on New Year's,
yeah.
which is absolutely. Don't get me wrong. I don't like that people do that. I mean, if you want to shoot at something like you have a base target and it's safe, nobody around, and some, that kind of stuff. Okay, cool. Like you got an old beat up car that y'all be using for target practice, or a big blocks of wood and sandbags and all of this other stuff. Professional targets, and y'all do that on New Year's or whatever. Okay, cool. But I don't like that people shoot in the air either. I don't like that. But I also don't think that everybody who does that is a domestic terrorist or an active shooter in the sense
No,
of
they
what
no.
we, yeah,
No, they're not.
yeah. So to flip that, and then so dude comes out, you're an ICE agent. If you're off work, because mind you, he's off duty, you're an ICE agent, you're in your home. You said you heard the shots outside. It was New Year's Eve, going into New Year's. You heard the shots. You thought it was an active shooter. So you went outside to where the shooting was.
That's the first thing I was like, so you went outside to an active shooting? You
Right. So
thought it
if
was
your
okay.
family is in the home and the shooting isn't happening there, it's happening away from you, but you said it sounded like it was getting closer. Why did you go to it? And then if you're off duty and you're not a real law enforcement officer in that capacity, why did you not call for your blue wall brethren to come and see about the situation? Why did you not call local law enforcement, either the
He
sheriff
know he can do
or
it.
the
He can get
police
away with
department?
it. It's an open
As he
window.
did.
Okay.
As he did. RIP to Keith Porter Jr. and Renee Good. But again, protesting, standing outside of buildings, it's all well and good, but it doesn't do much. You have to call for accountability. You have to call for transparency. You must call for compliance. When they swear those oaths, of office, they must comply to it. If you find out that in any case that you've ever had to deal with, that your civil rights have been violated, you must get the oath of office of that whomever it was, whether it was the police, the state attorney, and I'm not telling you stuff that I don't do. I do it right now. I'm not a hypocrite. You see what I'm saying? No, I do this stuff right now. I actively do this stuff. That's why I'm encouraging others to do it. It's not against the law, it's what the law is. These people are supposed to be getting arrested for the, excuse me, I keep saying people, we are the people. These entities who we elect are supposed to be getting arrested for violating their oath of office. Did you know that? They're supposed to get arrested straight up. The same way, okay, let me put it in perspective for you. The same way that if a person is in the military from National Guard on up and they violate that oath, they violate the oath they took, can be thrown in the brig. It's the same way those the police, the whomever has sworn an oath of office, that's the same way that
Whomever.
whomever, they are supposed to be thrown in jail if they violate that oath of office. That's why you're supposed to get it, and you get it for free. Some try to charge you, but they ain't supposed to, because you're using the Freedom of Information Act, which in the Civic Action Kit, it comes with a template. All you got to do is put in your information, what you need. You get the name of the officer, the judge, the prosecutor, the whatever it is that you're talking about, the president, and you send a request in. Email them. And it has the appointed time in which you were requesting these documents, and you're using actual law to do this. So take action, man. That's what it's about. Take action. You know what we got to start doing is going to like city town hall meetings. That's why they try to make it so boring. They put it on C-SPAN, but yet it's your actual your freedom. your daily life. Think about this. Certain parts. Okay, let's break it down like this, right? Why are there no food trees in public or the open areas? I don't want to say public because that's synonymous with government. W- Why are there no food trees in open areas? They ban it. Why? Why you think? If you had to say, why you think they don't allow food trees in open areas? Why do they restrict you or ban you from being able to have a small, just a couple chickens or whatever, couple to a few chickens that you can get some fresh eggs, stuff like that? Why? Because you'd be self-sustaining. You see what I'm saying? You wouldn't need them like that. They need you dependent, but they need you ignorant. And because most don't want to understand what their rights actually are, that's why there's a maxim of law, if you will. Laws or rights, excuse me, rights are for people who choose to exercise them. Otherwise, you have no rights because you won't know what your rights are. For example, the police don't have the right to come to you and start questioning you and asking you for your identity just because they feel like it. There needs to be what is referred to as reasonable, articulable suspicion. RAS. You can ask. And when you ask an officer, what is your RAS? First of all, they're going to be like, what? What's your RAS? Your reasonable, articulable suspicion of a crime that I have committed or I am about to commit. What is your RAS? They must tell you, but they're going to tell you, "Oh, it's the law for you to give me you need to give me your ID when I ask for it." No. What law is that? What law is that? Don't argue with them. You just asking them a question. And you need to first make sure that they have their body cam on and the mic works. Ask them. They're supposed to tell you. And when you speak to them, you ask them for their their name and badge number, and you refer to them as that. You don't refer to them, hey man, hey lady, hey look friend. Ain't your friend. You're a private citizen. They're a public agent. They're not even supposed to be dealing with you. And if you really want to go deep, when it's time to call 911, you got a problem with somebody, don't call the police like that. You call the police when they're like you got a business or something been broken into in your business. You handle that way. Somebody robbed your business, then you call the police. When you're dealing with person to person, two private citizens with private things, private matters, constitutional law, you call for the sheriff. That's who you call for. You call 911, you say, "Hey, I need the sheriff out here." That's who deals with private citizens. So back to it. If we want to stop this stuff from happening, we stand up for real against this stuff. We need paper trail. We need authoritative power being shown on paper because that's all that matters to them. That's all that matters. And what that is you got to do those petitions. Sign the petition. You got to you got to request, you got to use the Freedom of Information Act and request oaths of office. And you got to start standing up for your rights and demanding them. No man is going to give you your rights. A man didn't give you your rights. The Most High Yah did. But, you know, hey, I told you we was going to get deep on this one. And when we talking about constitutional rights, constitutionally protected rights, we talking about civil rights violations. Hey, all that marching, chanting, hoorahing, wearing t-shirts, picket signs, all of that, that is good. Good for show. But it's not for show. As in, sure. It's not for sure. What is you got to hit them where it really matters. That oath. Trust me. They got to be insured. They got to be bonded. The whole nine. That's what you get into. That's what you get into. Anyway. Anything else you wanted to tap into before we close out? Something that you want to say to the people, et cetera, et cetera?
I'm good. Everybody be blessed. Be safe out there. Just bless up. Be blessed.
Yeah, so where can people link up with you at? How can they get it on?
Oh man, I am Shalo South at gmail.com.
All right, that's what's up. That's what's up. And if you ever want to tap in with me, Noir A.D, just really you can use my user handle. I am Noir A.D at pick a platform. Pick a platform. But don't forget to also don't forget to also subscribe to my YouTube channels, both YouTube channels, the Noir A.D YouTube channel, as well as the Noir A.D Reacts, and that is REAXX. That right. But check it out. We are going to do more of this. You will be hearing more from us. We are just getting started, you know what I mean? So let us know what you like, dislike, what we could do better, what you appreciate, any commentary as far as what we did speak about. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. You know what I'm saying? And comment. We want to hear from you. You did. Say what?
Get in
Bless
with
up.
it. Get in.
For sure.